Hey kids, Mr. Fly here, hope you're well. Now this here is my Triumph Speed Twin 2020 model. I think it's an absolutely epic bike. However, there are a few things about the machine that absolutely annoy the hell out of me. So stick around and stay tuned if you're interested in this bike, because in this video I'm going to give you the top 5 things that I hate about the Triumph Speed Twin. Okay, so I said this is going to be my top 5 things that I hate about the Triumph Speed Twin. In fact, there are 6 annoyances, so without further ado, here they are. Okay, so annoyance number 1, and these aren't in any particular order by the way, is this here, the front brake disc on the Speed Twin. For some reason, and I don't think it's just my bike, the brake discs on here squeal. It's just one of those things, when you come to a halt, slow speed in traffic or whatever, you can just hear a coming from the front. It's an absolute pain in the backside. There's no excuse for that sort of thing, I don't think, on a premium bike. It's fitted with Brembo brakes, for goodness sake. Twin discs. This is a premium motorcycle. Those discs shouldn't squeak. Now, I know there are ways that you can fix it. People say, put a dab of grease on the back of the brake pads and all sorts of stuff that I don't like the sound of, but I'm sure there are fixes to it. But it's just one of those things, when you buy a new bike and it's a premium machine, you don't expect the discs to squeak, do you? Now, I had a similar issue on another Triumph that I rode. I think last year I think it was the Speedmaster, and that had a similar issue. When you pull the front brakes on, bit of a squeak. Just one of those annoying things. So that's number 1 of the top 5, in fact 6 things that annoy the hell out of me about the Triumph Speed Twin. Squeaky front discs. All right, next thing, and I've moaned about this before on other Triumphs as well, Triumphs that have this style of instrumentation on there. I think the instrumentation looks great, but there is a bit of a problem with this, I think, in that there's some illogical stuff about how these work. So when I turn the bike on, look, here we go, if you look at this, turn the bike on, and I've got the bike as normal with the dipped lights on, okay? So if you look at the front of the bike, this is dipped headlights. Okay, nothing unusual there. Dipped headlights on when you turn the bike on, as you'd expect. But then the next thing with this, if you may know, this has daytime running lights. Now to switch them on, you press this button here, okay, and then this light here comes on to show you that the daytime running lights are on. Now if I show you what they look like, so it's this bit at the bottom here. So that's the daytime running lights. Now surely it would be more logical if when you turn the bike on, the daytime running lights are on as standard, and then when you switch the lights to on, the dipped light would come on, and that little green light would come on at that point. So to me, that daytime running light indicator is the wrong way around. I think they should as standard be on daytime running lights with no light switched on the dash. You switch your lights on to dip, and then the light comes on and you're on dip, but now it's the other way around. Now, I've mentioned this before, and people have said, no, that's exactly the way it should be. So it might just be me, but to me, that's an annoyance. The DRL light is on the wrong way and on the wrong switch, as far as I'm concerned. Okay, next up of the things I hate about the bike, number 3 I think we're on, is this here, the fuel cap. Now there's a couple of things about this I like. Number 1, I think it looks a bit fake, the fact that when you lift this Le Mans style fuel cap, there's actually a plastic cap underneath it. I mean, that's just a bit naff. I think it should be the proper cap or not. But that's not the main gripe here. What my issue is with this is once you've flipped this lid up, to get the actual fuel cap off, you have to then put that key in, and then you have to wind it round and round and round loads of times. I can't really demonstrate this very well with one hand, but basically you have to unscrew that to get it off. It doesn't just push down and come off like other fuel caps do. So it's a bit of a fiddly old fuel cap to deal with generally, notwithstanding. Oh, there you go, it's coming off now, look that way. See what I mean? You have to wind it round. I mean, that's just... it's just more fiddly than it needs to be as far as I'm concerned. Why can't they just make it so you put the key in, twist it, and off it comes? And I don't really like this fakery either, but on this particular bike, it's not as bad as some others. The one on the Triumph Rocket 3, for example, an amazing, awesome bike, but that's got an even bigger version of that, but with the small cap under it, just looks naff. So that fuel cap, one of the things I hate about the Speed Twin. All right, to number 4 in my whinges about the Speed Twin. My goodness me, you've caught me in a bad mood. It's this plastic brake reservoir here. What is that all about? I mean, when you're sat on the bike, you have to be looking at that all the time, and it just looks a bit naff. Now, if, for example, I'll show you over here on my Street Triple, check out the brake reservoir on here. Look at that, anodised loveliness. Just there. Okay, now I had to buy that as an extra, and I could buy that as an extra for the Speed Twin as well. But again, when you're buying a premium bike, why do you have to get a plastic brake reservoir as standard? Why can't they just give you that anodised one? I don't know. So that's something else that I don't like about the Speed Twin. All right, so to number 5 on my list of the top 5 things I hate about the Speed Twin. I've actually got a bit of rare these days footage of me riding the bike back in the winter talking about this one, so roll the clip.
So I've just filled up the bike, and if you look at the fuel gauge there, you can see that it's taking a little while to come up. It's saying I've got 3 blocks at the moment, and I've ridden, I don't know, getting on for a quarter of a mile maybe from the fuel station. There we go, it's got a 4 blocks now, and gradually over time, as it decides, it will make its way up to full. It's not there yet, look, and I've ridden maybe half a mile from the fuel station. It's still going up, look, 5 blocks now. So it may seem a small thing, and I know why it is. It's because, of course, there's some sort of capacitive circuit in the fuel tank, which means that it takes an average. It's so that when the fuel is slopping around, you don't have a fuel gauge that is forever going up and down. So they put a big old capacitor in the circuit to smooth out that wavering. But look, here I am again, sometime after the fuel station. I don't know if you can see on the GoPro, but I'm still not registering full. That it's just one of those little annoyances, and the reason why it annoys me is because, you know, I'm lucky I own several bikes, and my other bikes don't do that. And not only is it my other bikes, I'm also lucky enough to ride lots of bikes in the course of my YouTube activities, and most other manufacturers have got it so that their fuel gauges don't waver around, and they do show a full tank as soon as you filled it up, like you would get in, say, a car. So that's just another one of those little annoyances that gets on my nerves with the Triumph Speed Twin. Not a big deal, just a bit of an oddity. And it's still, look, I must be a mile later, and it's still not showing fully full, even though there we go, it's gone full now, I think. Just gone to full now. So that's another thing that just annoys me about the Speed. Now it's gone to full. There was an extra block, look at that. A good mile and a half after the fuel station. What is that all about, Triumph? Sort it out.
Alright, so I titled this video the top 5 things I hate about the Speed Twin, but in fact there were 6 things that I wanted to mention. Number 6 on my list are these things, the indicators. Now they're all LED lights on here, they look pretty cool. I mean, there we go, that's it on hazard light mode, look, flashing on and off. We all love an LED indicator. However, let me just kill that for now. What I don't like about them is the rear ones are very, very prone to braking. Check this out. Look at that. So this here, held on with a bit of tape, wiggles about, flops around, and it's not like that's the first time it's happened. That's the second indicator that I've bought for this bike, because when I've been getting on and off it, my foot has touched that rear indicator and snapped it. Now, these particular indicators, they use on all sorts of the Triumphs, so if you get those as standard, just be warned on your bike, just be careful not to give it a whack with your boot, because you're going to break it. And they ain't cheap to get replaced, and they're not actually that easy to replace yourself either. Getting inside there is difficult. Last time, I had to get the dealer to do it when it was being serviced. So that's the last thing on my list of things I hate about the Speed Twin, these flimsy indicators that are just prone for braking. Alright, so please don't get me wrong, I think the Triumph Speed Twin is a fabulous machine. The bike is the lightest of all the Bonnevilles. I think it looks great, it's powerful, it's comfortable, it goes fast, it sounds brilliant. I absolutely love this bike. It, for me, is a keeper. But, you know, there just are those little things that do wind me up about the bike when you get to ride it. When you own a bike, no bike is perfect, is it? And they all have their little niggles. But in the scheme of things, those 6 niggles that I told you about really are niggles. They're not really, I don't hate the bike whatsoever. So please don't flame me saying, why did you buy it if you hate the bike? I don't hate the bike, I love it. This is very much a keeper. Okay, just before I go, a number of people have asked me, where do you get these hoodies from? Because the ones that you see on my YouTube page aren't the same, and that is true. That is because these come from my website, themissandenflyer.com. If you go there, you can find these. They're 25 quid, and they're the ones with these bits of red trim on as well. The other ones are from my Teespring site that you'll sometimes see advertised on my main YouTube page. You can still get those if you want them, that's fine. But if you go to themissandenflyer.com, there's a bit more of a selection, different colours, and that's where you can get these from. All right, advert over. Okay, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed that. Do stay safe, do stay healthy. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll be back out riding our bikes again soon. All right, look forward to speaking to you again soon. Till then, this has been the Missenden Flyer. Cheerio.